All right, Shalom. First, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Machak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is gonna be a quick video. All right. Not gonna make it long. All right. It's just gonna be a quick exhortation. All right, to the brotherhood, to the Akim. Okay, about the mentality and this truth. Okay, as being in this truth, man, the mentality you should have. Okay, or one of the best mindsets to be in. All right, isn't doing it till you get it right. It's doing it till you can't get it wrong. All right, you have to constantly, and that's why we always say that you have to actually live the life of an Israelite. You can't just be a weekend Israelite and a weekday niggerite, and just try to put on an act. You have to actually be sincerely in this thing, to the point where it becomes a part of you. Okay, and that's why let me get a quick preset real quick. And when that happens, then you understand that you're able to it becomes second nature. You don't have to think twice about eating pork or not. You don't have to be tempted about getting shape ups and all that stuff or not, because it becomes a part of you. You've now converted, all right, into righteousness to the point where wickedness is not something that tempts you, all right, on that level that it used to. Okay. Um, Let me see if I can find it here. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. It says, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, and this old man is referring on to the because the scriptures say being born again. When you come into the truth, really you're born again, and that's why in the beginning you're considered a babe, because you're now learning, from the beginning. You learn from the milk, the Lord's name, what the Lord looks like, in terms of like he was not an Edomite, he was a dark skinned man. All these different things. You start off as a babe, and then you continue to grow over and over again. But in order to do that, you have to put off the old man, the old you, before you came into the truth. You got to put him off, because the old you would be tempted, all right, to do certain things which the new you, or the you now, all right, shouldn't be, or you're not, because you've done it for so long. You've prayed, you've lived it. It's become a part of you, all right, to the point where you're not tempted to do certain things that would have got you maybe a couple years back. All right, it says which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, because the old man lived according to the flesh. Okay, that's all you thought about before we came into this truth. We weren't spiritual on a level, all right, or on this level, to understand the scriptures, man. And now that we have that, we're able to put off that old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, man. And that's how people in the world today live. They live according to their lusts, and most of them confuse lust for love. You know, they live according to their lust, but that's not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live according to the Spirit, righteousness, not what we want, but what we need, what's right, not what feels right to us, but what is right. Okay, and that's the mindset you got to be in, man. And that goes into being disciplined. Okay, you discipline yourself, man. You tell yourself and you train yourself and you put yourself in a predicament to where you do what's right. You do what you have to do consecutively so much that it becomes a part of you. So you don't know how to do anything else. You don't know how to do wrong. You know, that's what you should be striving for. Because if you're only striving to get it once, oh, I got it right, and the next time you do it, you get it wrong. Next time, no, you want to strive to the point where you can't get it wrong. Each time you do it, you get it right. That should be the goal. It says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, because that's really what is like the scripture, like the saying goes, what the mind says, the body follows. Okay, so you got to be renewed in your mind first, all right, and your body will follow. If you're renewed in your mind not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, and all these different abominable foods, your mouth is not going to eat it. you know It says, and that ye put on the new man, which after the most high is created in righteousness and true holiness. See? And that's what we have to do, man. Come into the truth. You got to put on the new man. All right? The Lord is not coming to deliver people in the world, niggas and old men, all right? Meaning the former you. All right? The Lord is dealing with the new you, and that's the new you that if you're a part of the elect, he's going to deliver. Okay. So I believe, where was I? Guess you know what I start with. I start with this precept. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part shall be left therein." All right. Slakia. And that's why we talk about the 2/3, because that two parts, all right, out of Israel, that 2/3, they're gonna die in their wickedness, in their sins. Okay, but the 1/3, which consists of the elect, all right, which are the elect, the 1/3, okay, they're not gonna be cut off and die. They're the ones who are able to put off the old man and put on the new man. All right. It says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power." Because as we're going through the fire, we're learning how not to do wrong. All right, we've done wrong all our lives, and to the point where it became a part of us to do wickedness. But now we're doing the opposite in order to refine us to the point where it becomes a part of us not to do wickedness. It becomes a part of us to do righteousness, to double think, all right, temptation, not to give into temptation, but it takes consistency, dedication, faith, and will. And ultimately, the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, which is why it's important to always pray. Okay? But that going in there, man, that refinement, all right, that's what's gonna polish the elect, okay? Making them acceptable for the Lord. And that's why he said, they shall say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. All right? So, got a couple more. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1, because understanding that it's not easy. It's fun, and it's nice to be said, and people, obviously we love to talk about how good we want to become and so on and so forth. But when you actually put your hands to the plow, when you actually start working, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's easier said than done. Nonetheless, it doesn't mean it's impossible. Okay, so once you put your mind to it, you work towards it. All right, but understanding that it says here, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation," because through those diverse temptations is what's going to purify you and make you perfect. You go through temptation so much to the point where you don't get tempted anymore. It says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." See? So you got to set your mind right. All right, have a solid mind, be kingdom minded, and constantly endure, because it's a part of the process of perfection. And make not haste in time of trouble. Don't be so quick to, "Oh my gosh, this happened," blah, blah, because that shows a lack of faith. Be calm, think, pray, and let the Lord work. Understand that he's the one who's putting you through it. All right, and he wants to see how you're gonna act, just like he made the bet with Job. Slaki, he made the bet with Satan about Job. All right, so it says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased in thy last end." Okay, so here it is. If you're catching hell, you're being chastised, but you're not able to take that chastisement, then it's all for naught. It has to be 100% or none. You can't get to 50% and stop, and then think that you're just gonna keep that. No, if you don't make it to 100%, you're basically at zero. All right. That's why you have to constantly endure. All right. Cleave unto the Lord and depart not away. Because when you're going through temptations and when you're going through hell, that's when you seek the Lord all the more. All the more. All right. It says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." Because ultimately, this is for our benefit. All right. It's for our good. Um, see if I can pull it up. Uh, Okay, I believe it's. I can't really find it right now. Hold on, let me see. Mm. All right, well, it's not popping up, but I just paraphrase it. Basically, talking to Paul stated in Romans, all right, about how all things work to the good, all right, of them that love the Lord. Okay, and so when you're being chastised or going through or whatever you're going through, all right, and you're being put in a lower state, you take it cheerfully because it's ultimately working for your benefit. All right, so it says for gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right, and that's why when we catch hell, really it's because the Lord has seen us and deems us worthy to be able to be purified, because that means He wants to use you. All right, He's taking you out that dirt. All right, and purifying you because He wants you to be clean so He can what, use you. Okay, it says believe in Him and He will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in Him. Okay, and that's what it is, man. You gotta trust in the Lord to deliver you from all your situations. You gotta trust in the Lord, and if you're having trouble, pray. Pray and make an effort. The Lord will give you that helping hand you need. If you're still having temptations that or demons that you can't fight, that they're constantly on you, pray, fast. Get stronger in the spirit so you can combat them. All right, know your weakness. All right, so that you can turn it into a strength, so that you can be more well rounded. All right. Obviously, if you know that certain things are weakness, don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be tempted to do that. That's just common sense. All right. So I think I had this last precept here. There we go. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. Okay, and I just get to the verse, the point. All right. It says I'll start at verse 4. It says, "For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for Himself. As gold in the furnace hath He tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks amongst the stubble." And that's what we're looking for, man. "They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever." This is what we fight for, man. That's why we don't mind being chastised, okay? Because like the scriptures say, it's a little chastisement for a great reward. All right, and the Most High proving us, finding us worthy. That's a very very honorable thing. But you wouldn't even have a chance at that if you can't take the chastisement. You have to first be proved. So have the mindset that you're not trying to get it right once. You're trying to get it right to the point where you can't get it wrong. That's the state of mind to be in. Okay? But I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai and Shalom.